Hello everyone, this is Myths and Magic, and welcome back to part 11 of the D&D story series in Campaign 1. I'm quite excited for this episode as this is the sort of closing arc for this campaign, as the heroes seek revenge for everything the Black Spider has done thus far. As usual, please like and subscribe and sit back and relax and enjoy. The warm, almost feline-like yellow eyes stared unblinking. A bassy growl came from its mouth, which bore jagged teeth. The hellhound's fur bristled as it stalked its prey, hunched and ready to lunge. The group flinched as it started to bark, alerting its master. The 10-foot demon strolled towards the party with an almost calm manner. With every sway of his shoulders, his light-rusted barbarian-styled armour clanged and scraped together. He bore a broad visage with similar yellow eyes. Across his red, almost charred-looking skin, white hair bristled across his chest and exposed forearms. His large frame lumbered through the forest and grass. "You three," the large red behemoth called. "Stay still." The hound encircled the group, baring its teeth. Ronar faced the large figure, while the others faced their back towards the Goliath. As the large figure stepped closer, now in the light 2 large horns curved from the top of its head, ridged and caked in dry blood, with a strange complexity, almost beautiful as they spiraled away from the demon's head. He spoke once again, with an icy cold tone emanating from his fiery red lips. "You've been giving a friend of mine some trouble. I'm sure you've heard of him. The Black Spider, or Nesna, his true name." The name hung heavy with tension in the air. Even the hulking demon paused. "I fear you've struck up a sort of rage from him. I've never seen such a powerful man so angry." "Foul demon," Augustus declared. "What is your name?" "Angorak." "The Black Spider has become desperate to summon the likes of you. How many did he sacrifice in order to pluck you from the bowels of hell?" "Quite a few. Can't remember how many exactly, when all the bodies were piled up. The only memory I have was that the sacrifices were all part of your slave race," he said almost mockingly to Ronath. The Goliath grabbed his axe from his back. Meeting him was a growl from the hellhound, and Angorak's own crude weapon, a large double-bladed axe with a white wood handle and a large black blade glistening in the sunlight. The fight broke out, blade meeting blade, tooth and claw slashing and spells cast and singing through the air. Quickly Augustus and Freya dealt with the hellhound. On the other hand, Ronar was struggling. The two were wrestling until Angorak's strength won over. Large bat wings sprouted from his back, unraveling and casting darkness over Freya and Augustus. Angorak hovered overhead. In his large clawed hands was his axe, and in the other he clutched the head of Ronath, the Goliath still struggling to tear from the great devil's grip. "Lay down your weapons, and I don't kill your friend," he said, tightening his grip. "Surrender yourself to me. Nezar would prefer if you were kept alive." Freya threw down his staff in frustration. "Why? Why all this? What does he want with us?" "He told me you interfered with his business. Something to do with the mines here. But to burn down our friends, mere small folk and innocents, I care not what lengths have been taken to catch you." Throughout the conversation, Freya twiddled his hands behind his back, casting a spell. "Fine. We surrender. Drop our friend and we'll go along with you. He stays with me if you try anything funny." Freya knew this could be a gamble. If he failed, it could mean the death of his friends. He prepared an eldritch blast, a bolt of force energies that most creatures were susceptible to. He raised his hands and a blue streak of magic blasted as quick as lightning from his hands. Energy streaked from his eyes like tears of thunder. The blast went straight for Angorak's eyes. Screaming, he clutched at the smouldering skin around his left eyeball, dropping Ronarth. The Goliath quickly recovered himself and hacked at Angorak, while Augustus dealt blows filled with radiant magic. Angorak laid on the floor, a bloody mess. "Where is he?" the Goliath questioned. "Where is Nesnar?" The demon started to talk, but only a husky and broken groan came from his lips. He raised his hands and pointed towards the mountain range looming over the horizon to the north. Without leaving the chance for last words, Ronarth swung his axe overhead and slashed in an arc right towards the demon's neck. After finding a lake nearby to wash off the blood stains and grime from themselves, they boarded the cart and set out towards the mountains of Phandelver. As they went further north, more and more snow caked the ground and trees. As days passed, the road started dwindling, fading off into the natural ground and terrain. At last they were met with the mountains, titans, even amongst a world of monsters and beasts. From this point the party went on foot, hiding the cart in a nearby brush. The journey was treacherous. Even Ronarth put on some winter gear while the others were bundled up in spare clothes and coats. Freya held Bellicor in a small pocket within his clothes. A silent agreement fell among the group. They needed shelter and warmth fast, otherwise they would freeze to death in the middle of nowhere, some apparently godless land. Even Augustus's prayers to his gods didn't help. At their lowest points they began to wonder, would they come out of this alive? If not, would the people of Phandelver be safe? Safe among a land filled with horrible beings with a lack of regard for their lives. With this thought, the heroes trekked onwards, simply placing one foot in front of the others, step by step. Finally, salvation came. A cave, large enough to hold all three of them. In actuality, it ran deep into the mountain, much deeper than expected. They went inside immediately, disregarding the strange, ornate skull structures that stood sentry on either side of the entrance of the cave. They went deep into the stretching stone labyrinth and rested in a crevice. They rested for the day, dreading for what tomorrow's journey may bring. Hello everyone, this week's miniature of the week is this. So I use this as a Rivendell captain for my elf army, and this is one of my first ever metal conversion models. So this used to be a bannerman, but then I chopped the banner off and put on a metal sword piece instead. And this replicates one of the shots from the movie, and it was used in quite a lot of the promotional material as well, where all the high elves are in this big front line, and they're all holding their swords, and I wanted to replicate that pose. And for the sword I did some nice non-metallic metal as well. And I really enjoyed doing the volumetric highlighting for the capes and the cloak as well, all the blues, and working with those shades. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I have a new mic, as you can probably tell, so hopefully you enjoy the new quality of these videos as well. As usual, please like and subscribe and share your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.